Okay, so the first question someone asked me about was about anger. And it was really good that someone asked that actually, because it is a really big thing people come to counselling about. I've worked with many men particularly who have anger issues, and I guess it's just issue of not being able to manage anger and flying off the handle. So what we need to say first is a lot of people use the word control. I would say we don't control anger, we don't control any emotions. Controlling often is what leads to pathology in the first place. So maybe someone with anger issues has issues in the past that they didn't feel they could express their anger, or they didn't feel they can express their emotions, whatever they were, and that's what leads to this later on, this kind of acting out, I guess. So this behaving in a way, maybe behaving in an abusive way that that we don't want to behave, and then we feel bad about. So this is just to verify, this is a really common issue. Now, I've drew this thing which my counselling supervisor gave me initially. I hope you can see it okay. Okay. Sorry, just trying to get it in place. I'm struggling with the webcam. Okay, so here. No, we started from here. Sorry, getting my coordination right. So here, yeah, okay. So if you imagine this is a hill, okay. So here we've got anger, or any other emotions are always okay. That's a really important thing to remember. So don't ever try to suppress anger. Just acknowledging you feel anger. Feeling anger is completely and utterly fine. Feeling any emotion is fine. Okay, but then we go up this hill. So anger here is all fine. Then on the other side, we may be abused, screaming at people and maybe even being physical. That's abuse, and abuse is always wrong. But on this side, the anger, which it starts from, is always fine. So what we're looking at is interventions, things that can come in the middle here. So we're accepting, we're validating all the emotions, but it's not going down this slippery slope. So it's becoming abuse. Okay, so that's what we need to try and work on. So what I often actually do with clients, when clients are coming to me with anger issues, I can just be very, as they say, person-centered. That's it's a very grounding philosophy in actually my counselling training. It was made popular by someone called Carl Rogers, and that was all about basically any kind of feeling you have is completely fine, and what we just do is work on validating that. And then that allows the person to go deeper and to understand more and more where that emotion's coming from. As I said, referring back, this thing is really big with people feeling they can't express anger, like it's a feeling they need to control. And a lot of time with clients, I just do a lot of validating. I say, you're feeling angry, that's okay. Please keep bringing this anger to session. So what we look to do, I guess, is to keep looking, to keep accepting that anger, and then to go in more and more about where that's coming from. Are these things that are happening maybe with our romantic partner or with someone else, perhaps reminding us of something in the past? Because dramas often replay, so this could be maybe like an issue with one or either of your parents, and they say dramas play out until they're ready to be dealt with. So it seems like maybe your partner, or what's making you angry, could be triggering something deeper, maybe some sort of child need that wasn't met. So I would recommend just finding support where necessary. Like there's my new forum, the Mental Health Discussion Forum. Also, maybe just talking through this anger with a friend about when you feel angry, and even that can somehow help alleviate and to understand, and just to help you to communicate more. I think the worst thing you can do is just suffer with this in silence. That's what we don't want to happen. And if you obviously can't work through it alone, that's when some sort of professional support could be useful to help you understand more where's this anger coming from, and how to process it so you can behave in a more ultimately in a more mature way and have more constructive relationships. So with this anger, in terms of the interventions here, so again, I'll get it into place here and put it up a bit. So interventions here. So usually this is up to you what you put in. So maybe like you could maybe write out your anger about what's happening, maybe what it's reminding you of. A big thing here can be so you don't go to abuse. I also say if the last resort is just not be abusive, maybe just to get out the situation. just to walk off, and then at least you can stay on this side of the hill. So then, I say, by writing your emotions out, maybe having a walk out, maybe some kind of meditation, and yeah, just exploring this part and really knowing all your emotions, whatever you're feeling is okay. You haven't gone over this side, so that'll be the first achievement in itself. Okay, so now we covered that. So I guess just thinking about your different interventions and what you may put in, and knowing your anger and all your other emotions are actually fine. Okay, so that's key. Now here, what I thought would be good to link in here, I use this a lot with people who have get into place again, who have had anger issues, and also just people who may have been somehow disempowered in their past. And this is just helping basically just mature communication. Sorry, I quite struggle with this sign. Let's okay, right. So here we've got there's three different communication styles we look at. So the first one is parent style. Okay, so this is very like domineering, controlling, and more ignore the rights of others. So if you think of a stereotypical example, think of a real bully in school who just goes around they're just trying to control and demean other people. That's a bully. That's parenting. So often someone with anger issues who's maybe like lashing out and going into this this abuse part will be operating somehow from a parent way. Okay. Now I want to skip one and go to the bottom one here. The bottom one is child. Okay. So the child state is passive and needs aren't being met in whatever relationship you're in. So what's very important here is someone who's behaving in parent also flips into child. Okay, so these are disempowered forms of communication. So if you think that whole thing we say about when the kind of bully at school or whatever is just the coward underneath, that's because they're actually just a child. They're a shame-based person. So somehow underneath they just feel that they're just acting out like a rebellious thing because maybe they weren't allowed to grow and be their true selves in their family, in their place of origin. So yeah, so what we're looking to is to really notice if you're playing the parent, also times in your life when you may be playing the child. Okay, so again to go over, so parent is domineering, controlling, and ignores the rights of others, and child is passive and needs are not being met. Okay, so now we come to the good one, the adult. So this is what, in relation to anger issues and whatever other emotions you're struggling with on that side of the hill, as in the diagram above, we're looking to ultimately behave in an adult way. So the adult is important. It's the only empowered type of communication. So this is honest, it's time appropriate, it's assertive, it's empathic, and it involves making requests. Okay, so this is like saying to your partner or whoever it is, look, I'm feeling really angry when this is happening. I really want this to happen. And obviously not just shouting that when someone walks through the door, and not lying, and still being open to, I guess, their feelings. And a key thing in this too is not blaming. Often it's very easy to slip into, oh, I'm doing this just because you're doing that. If there can be a real ownership, if you think again of this side of the hill, on feelings. So saying, when you do that, I feel this way, and I would really like this to happen. Okay, so yeah, I hope that gives some background. Again, this was a request from a person, so do feel free, again, following on from my introduction on the slide before this, just please give any feedback, any things you felt were particularly missing, things that were helpful or not, and then hopefully we can help you find some way forward with this issue. But it's a really common one in counselling, so just to validate, what you're going through is completely normal, and I do see many people with anger issues, and this certainly is a very workable thing. So I hope that was helpful. So we'll end this slide for now. Thanks.